This is the Great Legend, and I am coming at you live from Dark Avenger Inc. Plus with another in-depth review. And this time, we review All-Star Western issue 15. Sorry for that glare, it's in Mylar. Let's get to the story. So, this is All-Star Western issue 15. Now, a couple issues back, can't remember what number it actually began on, but a guy by the name of Reggie wanted to hire Dr. Arkham and Jonah Hex to find Dr. Jekyll that was in Gotham. You know, Reggie is Dr. Jekyll's assistant, and he knows that Dr. Jekyll's formula is kind of taking over his mind, you know, aka Mr. Hyde, right? And in Gotham, previous issue in issue 14, a lot of the people in Gotham are being given this serum, if you will. It's kind of like one of those deals where a guy will, yeah, come get the tonic. It'll shave all your needs. And anyway, so they're down in this stuff, and all the people are just going crazy. Rabid, killing fighters, crazy, trying to get all the women. You know, it's unleashing a lot of violence and sexual tension. So it's pandemonium in Gotham. But, so yeah, this is a really good story. At this story, Amadeus Arkham went to go check on Reggie up in the hotel room of Reggie and Dr. Jekyll. But at the table, he finds Mr. Hyde sitting there eating some fresh beef, fresh meat. And Hyde is kind of provoking Amadeus Arkham, and they're talking back and forth. You know, just kind of doing their little geek speak. But he said that Amadeus wanted to know where Reggie was. And then so Hyde says, he's in the bathroom. Why don't you go check on him? And then so Amadeus Arkham goes and checks on Reggie, the assistant. And all he sees is just like the whole tub's filled with like blood, nasty body parts, bones, just nasty. So we come to find out that Mr. Hyde is eating Reggie. So Mr. Hyde not only is a crazy killer himself, but he's a cannibal as well. So that was pretty much the last issue. This issue, it shows Arkham is still up there in Hyde's or Dr. Jekyll's hotel room, but now it's Mr. Hyde, and Hyde's force feeding him some of that tonic that will make Amadeus Arkham go crazy. So it does, and then a fight ensues. They start fighting, of course. Hyde is just a really kind of big burly man, you know, big burly guy, and of course Amadeus Arkham's really skinny. So they start fighting. Then all of a sudden, Hex busts into the room looking for Reggie because he wants to get paid for finding Dr. Jekyll, which, you know, they had found him in issue 14. Of course, in issue 15, he drinks the stuff and becomes Hyde. So then Amadeus Arkham starts attacking Jonah Hex. So right when Arkham comes up for another time, Jonah Hex just pistol whips him and knocks him down, so he's out. Then Hex and Hyde start fighting. So pretty much in this issue, it's just a big old brawl, which is pretty cool, you know, with some trash talking in between. So they're brawling up there. One funny moment was Hex like racked Mr. Hyde in the cods. He just kicked him in the between his legs, and then Hyde says something like, "That's not a very fair move," or something like that. I thought the talking between them was just so funny. And then Hyde, he's a little bit more stronger. He threw Hex out of the window, and Hex fell multiple stories, banging into stuff on the way down, and he landed in the cafe or the bar that was in the hotel room. So his leg is all bloodied up. Possibly it was so bloody, and the bone was kind of nudging out, so he broke his leg. He climbs back up, or he crawls back up the stairs, and he goes back in there and starts fighting again. At this time, he asks Arkham, where are you going? Aren't you going to help? Arkham just runs for the door and says, I'm going to go find him a lady or something like that. But, so yeah, Arkham leaves, and then Hex is fighting with Hyde again. Hex is just getting his butt kicked, and then the rest of the Gotham police come up the stairs, and by that time, Hyde is already gone. And Hyde's got this black diamond that he's holding right here, and he had that in issue 14. We don't know what the black diamond does right now, but it's very rare and it's an expensive item. So we don't know what that really does, but there's a little hint at the very end of the story. So Hyde gets away. The police they help up Hex. They have to go, of course, get in the bathroom and get that mess, the bloody mess of Reggie, get him all clean, or get that place cleaned up. So they get Hyde to go to the nurse, and he's going to get his leg reset. And they say he's going to have to take months to get better. Now, while all that was going on, Arkham found him this woman in the saloon, and he was all like quoting, real smart talk or whatever, saying stuff like, you're going to become my wife. I'm going to part the seas like Moses. Or, he's just saying a lot of like sexual kind of talk, like jokes, but in a smart way or whatnot. And finally, they start fighting, and she hits him down because she's kind of a stronger looking gal. So she knocks him down, and then the police come and take him. And it was cool because there was like these title headings in the book, and it would say like whenever Arkham like left Hyde and Hex to go out to the saloon and try to get this woman, it said Arkham Unleashed, and then then it had another one after they caught him. They threw him in this little straight jacket, and it said something like Arkham Asylum or something like that. I think it did say Arkham Asylum, but it had something on there, and he was like, just looking like he was going through some withdrawals. I wish there wasn't a lot of glare on this. It's a little better maybe if I hold it like this side. But so I thought this was a really excellent story. And then on the last page, Hyde gets to an abandoned house that has a lot of scientific equipment, which was from All-Star Western 12. It was the Highwayman from Hell, I think. It was his little shack that had a lot of science stuff in it. So Hyde's in there using some of it to create some new toxin. And the last panel pretty much shows that he's got the black diamond, and he's going to probably include that into the new serum or the new potion or whatever he's making to, I guess, make the place go really crazy. Every issue of All-Star Western will normally have a backup story in it. The backup story last issue and in this issue is Tomahawk. Really cool. One of the reasons why I love All-Star Western is not only do you get an excellent story of good cop, bad cop with Amadeus Arkham and Jonah Hex, you get an awesome backup story of another person in the same time period. This time it's Tomahawk. And the story is it's continuing from last issue's story. Indians are fighting the soldiers, and they captured Takasuma. I think that's the name of that classic Indian hero, Takasuma or whatever. And Tomahawk and his band are going to go rescue him. What happens is he gets there, a big fight ensues, but he comes up on after a lot of Takasuma's people were already shot. They were shot in the firing squad. So a big fight ensues. Tomahawk fights the main guy, and what happens is that was a good battle. Just a real rough battle, like in a little creek area where there's water in there. Tomahawk's got his tomahawk, the other guy's got his sword. He knocks his sword out. Just a big battle ensues. And right when Tomahawk is actually kicking the guy's ass and he gets the upper hand, someone comes up from behind him and like bangs that butt of the rifle in the back of his head. He goes down. And what happens is the people that knocked him out, they let him go. They let him go on the side of the road. But the guy Tomahawk was fighting, he was like, why didn't you just kill him? Why didn't you kill him? And you find out that the guy was an American soldier or whatnot that Tomahawk was fighting. But the people that rescued that guy from getting his butt kicked by Tomahawk were the Redcoats, the Brits. No offense to our British watchers. But so we find out that guy was in line with the British. So he's kind of like a spy, I guess, for the British. So yeah. So I'm excited to see. And All-Star Western issue 16, we find out the final little story of the Tomahawk story arc. So that's really cool. And of course, in issue 16, we'll find out more about Mr. Hyde here and see if Jonah Hex gets his leg repaired and see if Arkham gets the crazies out of his mind. Well, fans, I hope you enjoyed this in-depth review of All-Star Western featuring Jonah Hex. This is written by two of my favorite guys, Jimmy Palmiotti and Justin B. Gray, which I've had the pleasure of chatting with both of these guys on Twitter before. Love their books. And we have Moritat on the art, who slaughters this book. This book is just so freaking awesome. I love the art in this book. This was really one of my first favorite DC New 52 titles, and it's still in my top 5 of DC New 52 titles. I love me some All-Star Western featuring Jonah Hex. Only thing I didn't like doing, a couple issues back, they made the Jonah Hex stuff a lot more bigger, and I don't know if that was maybe to increase sales or whatnot, but I really just love the original All-Star Western, that title, because I think, of course, it probably wouldn't sell that well, just because I know many of you probably maybe not like Westerns, but All-Star Western, I mean, the thing that made it so good in the old days, late 50s, I think, and then the early 70s, they did the All-Star Western reboot, because this took over, the original All-Star Western took over All-Star, DC All-Stars or something like that, but and then it turned into All-Star Western. But All-Star Western, it was called All-Star Western, and in each comic you would get a couple of stories from just different people of the Old West. Jonah Hex didn't come until the Bronze Age All-Star Western in the 70s, but you would get like all kinds of cool Western stories, like old cowboy stories, you know. Cowboy stories and things of that nature were really big in the 50s especially, you know, Lone Ranger, Rawhide, Gunsmoke, all these like shows, Bonanza, all of that stuff was so huge back then, before all this CGI crap came along. So, you know, many of you out there might not read All-Star Western, but you know, you could pick up the trade paperback of issues, the first several issues. It's just really good. I mean, you'd really love it. It's one of my favorites. So check it out. It's All-Star Westerns. This has been another in-depth review coming from the great legend, courtesy of Dark Avenger Inc. Plus. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We have a lot more in-depth reviews, and we got some really cool shows here on Dark Avenger Inc. Plus. This is the great legend saying peace out and God bless.